Federal prosecutors have arrested and charged a man accused of leaving pipe bombs in various locations in northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula. That man is John Douglas Allen of Whitmore. He is 75 years of age. Court records accuse Mr. Allen of planting the explosives at cell towers and cell phone stores earlier this month. He was reportedly angry with telecom companies and their, quote, immoral content, unquote. If convicted, Allen faces up to 20 years in prison.
We did a report about, what was it, weeks ago, I think a couple of months ago. I'm trying to remember when we put that video out, but it was a while back. That last year, there was an arrest, and this wasn't talked about much on the mainstream media. You know, the mainstream media did not pick this up. I think only local news picked this up very lightly. And I said, you know, I was looking back into this to see the disposition of this case. But there was a terrorist, a domestic terrorist in the United States. And you may say to yourself, well, what was he doing? Was he a MAGA? Was that? No. This guy was obsessed with getting rid of pornography, adult content. Yeah, that's right. This guy was an anti-porn domestic terrorist, and this was in Michigan. And he was arrested. He was caught. He was arrested, and sent to prison. I mean, this guy was going to set bombs at cell towers, cell stores, to Verizon, AT&T, and many others. That's how he was going to come across it. But we're going to read into this out of XBiz. John Douglas Allen was sentenced on Wednesday to 75 months in prison for his 2021 domestic terrorism campaign against telecommunication companies he blamed for broadcasting pornography, cursing, and immoral content. The 76-year-old Allen, described in the press as a retired miner, was arrested by the FBI in September 2021. Following an investigation into his activities, which included threats of violence and planting bombs, federal prosecutors charged Allen with extortion and attempted to destroy a building and accused him of leaving pipe bombs and threatening letters in locations across northern Michigan and the Upper Peninsula, the Detroit News reported at the time. As XBiz reported, Allen admitted to his guilt during a hearing in July, pleading guilty to 2 counts of attempted destruction of a building, 1 count of attempted interference with commerce by extortion. He appeared on Wednesday before District Judge Thomas L. Lungington, sorry if I mispronounced that, for sentencing. Allen's defense attorney, Stephen J. Jacobs, wrote a sentencing memorandum emphasizing that the convicted anti-porn domestic terrorist had no criminal history and has a litany of health issues, local news site MLive reported the other day. Jacobs admitted that Allen creating threatening letters and bombs because he was dissatisfied with all the immoral content, including pornography on phones and cable TV. He acted alone and does not understand why he made those threats and demands when he knew he couldn't actually stop pornography. Allen admitted to be carefully and long-standing premeditation on his terrorist acts, telling FBI agents that he bought the bomb's components about a year prior at various hardware stores and spent a year building up his courage to place the destructive devices, MLive reported. That's a scary thought, that this guy had the bombs already ready and he was just gaining his strength to go put them out there. Allen's terror campaign, the site reported, resulted in a costly manhunt that engaged special agents, intelligence analysts, troopers, deputies, and officers from the FBI, Michigan State Police, Chenobin County Sheriff's Office, Chenobin Police Department, Sault Ste. Marie's Police Department, Sault Ste. Marie's Tribal Police Force, the U.S. Coast Guard Investigations, and U.S. Border Patrol and ATF. Allen's arrest came only a few months after the Atlanta massage parlor massacres in 2021. The man indicted for those murders, Robert Aaron Long, stated that his motive was his perceived of sex addiction, which his family tried to treat at a religious re-education centers that preach shame-based sexual concepts. Long told the police he murdered the massage parlor employees because he wanted to eliminate the temptation, and he had added that the time he was arrested was actually heading to Florida to inflict more violence on pornography sets. See, the thing is here, and we talked about addiction before, pornography addiction. This is not a guy who basically was going around getting sex, getting massage parlors and stuff like that. He's been to massage parlors, but he just went insane. It's the basically, you have people out there, they'll blame the video games and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, anything will set this person off. This is a guy who got set off, went and did a murder spree, and we're talking about the murders down south in Atlanta, and he was on his way to Florida, and he was going in on at it that basically he wanted to get in. And when you have the religious aspect from it, where they're telling him, oh, you're sinning, you're sinning, you're sinning, what's that going to do to a psychological mind? You're chastising him from a religious point of view, but not getting the help he truly needs, that he has a mental issue. That's the problem. People will chastise people because, oh, you're a sinner. You're da, da, da. No, this is what they did decades ago. Put people in mental asylums because they basically, you're a sinner and you belong here. Or they sent women because they had babies out of wedlock. Oh, you're going to go to the nunnery. So handle the situation. Handle the situation. People have issues and problems in their lives. By shoving it under the table, you're not going to remedy the situation. Calling him a sinner, chastising him, something like that, he's already set off. Now he's going to go on a freaking rampage to stop the situation. And this is what happened with this guy as well. As part of his plea agreement, Allen admitted that on August 24th, 2021, he drove a van bearing a California license plate from his Losco County home north in the Upper Peninsula. He then placed polka dot envelopes containing threatening letters at least 3 cell phone towers. The letter demanded that immoral content such as pornography no longer can be on the internet. And the thing about it is immoral content. What does he also mean? Because he means pornography, but he also means other things. And you can go down the list. Allen signed the bizarre letters as being from a supposed anti-porn group, Coalition for Moral Communications, which the letters claimed that the group had members in 27 states and addressed them to AT&T, Verizon, and other carriers. Allen also demanded the telecom giants pay $5 million with instructions forthcoming in future letters, or he would destroy the company's cell towers. The plea included Allen's admission that in furtherance of his threatening extortion, he had made 2 cruel pipe bombs at his home. They were fully functional and contained shrapnel. The plea agreement admitted. And the thing is, you got to be scared on this. This is basically a guy who basically thought he could solve the world's problems. Solving the world's problems is not putting bombs on cell towers, disrupting the world. That's being a terrorist. That's just being a terrorist. Are there problems in the world? Yes. Stop blaming entertainment for it. Stop blaming things that just basically it's been proven many times that it isn't these situations. It ain't the music you listen to. It ain't the video games you're playing. It ain't the TV shows that you're watching, the violence on the TV shows or movies, or the pornography, the Hustler magazines, the Playboys. People have issues. They will be set off by anything. They could be set off by the box cover of a Cracker Jack or a cereal box. Has happened in the past. So you have 2 classifications when you have these situations. You have people who have mental issues, and then you have other people who just want to see the world burn. Those are the ones you want to be afraid of the most, is the people that want to see the world burn. because they have nothing to lose in their lives, and they don't care. This is the same thing when it happens like in the Middle East and in other countries in Europe, Germany, Russia, Asia. You have these terrorists that just literally have nothing to lose. They have an ideology and they think they're doing right. This particular guy, the way it's sounding, he has a deficiency, mental deficiency. He's making up things and stuff like that. What is immoral? I mean, there were points where he had thoughts not to pull the trigger on the situation. That alone will tell you that basically he has issues.
You've just watched a segment from our Madman Cafe show every Sunday night at 6 p.m. You can catch it over at Odyssey. Check in the description below for the link that will lead you to our Q2Cast TV site.